Battery's low. Actually, one sec. I gotta change batteries. Sorry. All right, in this video, we're going to be talking about how much you should be charging for your work. This is a question that a lot of us kind of struggle with. I know I did, especially when I first started doing this. I had no idea how much I should be charging clients. I had no idea what my number was yet. So in this video, we're going to talk about those key tips that you hear from other creatives or any other YouTube video that you may have found around this subject, what my interpretation of that was, because I've probably heard the same thing, and what I did to find my number when I first started. Hello, and welcome to Why Not Tony Media. I'm Tony, and this channel is here to help creatives like you achieve their goals. I post videos every other Wednesday, so make sure you subscribe so we can continue to work on moving your goals forward. Okay, so let's talk about that key tip. The key tip that you hear every creative saying is know what your time is worth. I 100% agree with that. But if you were like me, you're probably scratching your head like, what does that mean? What is my time worth? I don't know. That's why I'm watching this video. Help me figure out what that is. The interpretation that helped me better understand that and find my number was, how much is time away from doing something I love worth to me? Is an hour away from my family, is an hour away from being outdoors, from doing whatever it is that you love to do, is $100 worth that time? Start thinking about that number and just see if it balances out. Find the number that it feels, okay, that amount of money is worth it. If you pick a number, you write it down, and in your head, you're like, yeah, I think that's enough. If you're hesitant on it, it's still not the right number. And the reason why it can't just be like an okay number that you're mildly okay with it, that you're just like, I guess I would do that. It's because if you're hesitant on it, then you're not going to be enthused. You're not going to be excited to go do that, because it has to be worth your time. If it's not worth your time and it's not inspiring you to go do that, then you're probably not going to deliver a good product at the end because you don't feel like you were valued. Think about it. If I said, okay, I'm going to give you $100 to do some product photography on some new hats that I just dropped for merch or something like that, you would be like, okay, yeah, that might be fun. It's a cool opportunity. But if I said, I'm going to give you $800, that might sound a little more enticing, or your heart is going to be in it more. You're going to get more creative about it because your time is being valued. After I heard that tip and used that interpretation to help me figure it out a little bit more, the next thing I did was research. Now, when I say research, I mean looking up in your general area. So for me, I did that. I just typed in, what is the average rate of a photographer? What is the average rate of a YouTuber in the DFW area? So to find a perfect example of this, let's just go ahead and look for it up on my iPhone right now. And the answer we get right here is $100 to $300 per hour for a professional photographer. So you get some general answers when you do that search, but you'll also probably start to see other websites from other photographers and videographers. From there, you have an opportunity of looking at their work, seeing the quality that they have to provide, and then you might even see a price sheet for them. And then you can gauge, okay, am I at that level? Am I maybe more novice? And that just helps you find your price a little bit better. So after I got my interpretation of what that top tip was, after I saw what the average photographer and videographer in my area was charging, I used all that information to come up with my number. When I first started, I think I was charging like $150 for an hour session, and there wasn't a limit on deliverables. I was just like, hey, you get whatever I get. I mean, I'm going to do some edits, but I'm going to pick the best ones and then send them to you, and you'll get a photo dump basically. And there were some pros and cons with that, but I mean, the pros of that, it was a low entry point for me, right? So I still got some money, but then I also had a higher demand because people were excited about that lower cost. Plus I was giving unlimited amount of photos, and it was a little stressful at first, but it forced me to get better. But the key in that is being consistent and being honest with your pricing for yourself. Because again, it has to be worth it for you, because if the pricing isn't coming into for you and satisfying your own mental needs of what you feel like you should be getting, then you're just not going to be inspired to do the work. And so we found that key tip to kind of find the number that motivates you to want to work, to want to get out and actually do it, because you're valuing your time now. We talked about how to do some research to figure out what other people in your area are charging, to figure out what you feel comfortable to charge. But now let's say you did all that. You found your magic number that you feel comfortable with. You did your research, but you still feel a little uncomfortable. I want you to know that's okay, because that's where I was too. I was still uncomfortable about charging money because I was like, I'm just some guy with a camera. Why should I charge this much money? The way I went around that was honestly working for free. Some people are completely against that. Some people would say, oh no, you should never do that. You should never undervalue your work. Whatever the excuse may be on why someone might tell you not to do that, if that's the route you want to go, it's okay. If you hear it from anybody, hear it from me. It is okay to do some free work, especially when you're just starting out. because you have to get experience. I have a perfect example of this, and I wish I could say this was me that came up with this idea, but it was not. It was a buddy of mine who actually got it started in this, and I was like blown away. I was like, dude, that was perfect. I'm so proud of you for positioning yourself to do it this way. But long story short, let me tell you what he did. So he found a local photographer in his area. He reached out to him and said, I'm a beginner photographer. I'm really interested in just growing my business, but I feel like I need more experience. I would love to be your behind the scenes photographer to capture footage and video for you and your business. And I believe he gave a timeline of like a month or something, but he basically said, after a month of me going with you to your shoots and helping you out with this BTS, if you find value in my work after a month, I would love to be a member of your team. Meaning, after a month of doing this for free, I would happily do it for a fee. It blew my mind. I was like, that's perfect, because then it gives him the opportunity to, one, get experience for however long you decide you want to make that, duration of time worth for doing it for free. But then in doing that, you're building that relationship with this person. You're going to figure out what their style is and what they liked. And then you almost make it hard not to want to continue to work with you, because you already know how this person works, what type of BTS they need, whatever it is that they're providing. You're already in. Now, it just makes it harder for that tie to get cut. It was such a good idea. I was really proud of him for doing that, because he ended up, of course, continuing to work with that person, and then he started getting paid as a second shooter and has since started to grow. And that was just a brilliant idea of a way to get experience and start to get some income for yourself so you can start growing your business. So get creative when you're reaching out to people, whether you're reaching out to another creative to be a second shooter. Maybe you're reaching out to a local business that you love to be around, whether it's a bar, a church, whoever, I don't know. But another organization that's close by, you see their Instagram and you're like, hey, I can help you boost your engagement. I can help you boost the type of videos that you would like to make. Let me do this after so long, and after that, maybe we could work together in a long-term standing relationship. Whatever it might be, these are just some options of ways you can start getting that experience if you still feel like you need to find some. This is an exciting time for you, because once you start figuring out money and figuring out what your entry level should be and then start growing from there, things really start to open up, because then you get comfortable with money, and then it's no longer a sore subject that you're like, oh, well, this is how much I would charge. You no longer feel nervous or, I guess, push back from talking about money. You welcome that conversation, and the more confident you are with that topic, the more clients are going to be confident in you. All right, that was a lot to go over, so let's go ahead and do a real quick recap. Think about how much your time is worth away from doing something that you love. Do your research and figure out how much other people in your area are charging, and be willing to possibly do a free to fee relationship with someone, because that might be what you need to get the experience, because maybe that's what's holding you back from picking the number that suits you. I hope I was able to get you closer to picking the number that best suits you for growing your business to get started. That's it for this video. Again, don't forget to subscribe to this channel so we can make sure we're continuing to move your goals forward as a creative. If there's a specific topic you want covered, by all means, leave a comment down below. If you just want to say hi, if you want to chat, whichever, that's what the comment section is for. And if there's anything more you want to know around this topic, by all means, let me know down below. I'll answer those questions, or maybe those questions will lead to a part 2 of this video. That's it for me, guys, and I'll see y'all in the next one.